Hello, gorgeous humans, to day 2 of the Build It and They Will Come Masterclass. I'm Alina Grayson coming to you guys live in the high performance coaching community. This is my free coaching community. If you're catching me live right now, let me know. Say hi. Let me just double check here that I'm live in the right place. Okay, good. Hello, Donna. So I'm going to look at comments on my phone. I'm going to turn this down. Ooh. There we go. Hello, gorgeous. Hello, Angela. Hello, Donna. How are you guys doing? I'm so excited. I have such a magical conversation for you guys. We're going to talk more energetics, but we're also going to talk about some strategy. So where are my entrepreneurs at? How are you guys feeling? I want to know. What's your biggest takeaway from yesterday? Did you guys have any aha moments, any breakthroughs? I know I have not caught up in the DMs, but I've had a lot of people being like, oh my God, thank you. I need to hear that. The whole frequency of gratitude. Like, I'm so happy a lot of you have realized we have overused the word. Hello, Shelly. Hello, Angela. Hello, Deanna. Good morning, gorgeous. Hello, Kenya. Hello, Danielle. Faith. Hello, gorgeous. So many amazing ladies. So for those of you hopping on, who's an entrepreneur? How many years have you been an entrepreneur? And then all of you who are desiring to build a social media presence to either, sell a gift, a message, start your business, let me know what phase you're in. Let me know how many years you've been in. Hello, Dina. Good morning. Thank you guys for tagging. So there will be a replay. We will send out the links to YouTube so you guys can watch. I know some people had issues watching again. I don't know what's happening, but I record. This is why I'm going live on Zoom. So we record this and we will always convert it to YouTube. Osana. So if someone's not seeing anything, just trust. You will get the replay. Hello, go to 20 years back, brick and mortar, but 3 online. Amazing. Okay. So this is dedicated to the entrepreneurs. We are going to talk about social media. But again, with all my teachings and my body of work, a lot of this stuff that I talk about, it's so applicable to everything in your life. How we do one thing and how we feel and how we live and how we believe, like how we do it one way, we do it in so many ways. So the energetics, even in today's call, you're going to see, oh my God, this is how I've been in my relationship. This is how I've been here in my career. Nazarene, hello, gorgeous. Hello, Stephanie. 2 years, Donna says. Hello. Is it Danu? Sorry. I'm the worst with names. Hello, gorgeous. So Nazreem says takeaways, sincerity of gratitude and fun of gratitude. Yes. And building off that frequency. So beautiful. I'm so happy to see you. I downloaded the first replay for my flight home from Hawaii to Sydney. Yes, I love it, Faith. Perfect. Okay, perfect. My maiden name, like my original last name is Przybyłak, and it's like Przybylak. And my entire life, like every time I had to get like a test or stand up in class, it was like, how do you say that? Everywhere I went. But I realized, hey, it's a great conversation starter. And you know what? That's how you build relationships. And what's business? It's the energetic currency of business is relationships. So we're good with that. New skin, Stephanie says, for 1 year. Hello, Anita. Hello, beautiful. So awesome. This is a lot of entrepreneurs. That's great. Okay. So day 2. So yesterday we talked about, let me know if you had any other breakthroughs from yesterday, guys. And let me know if you picked the masculine energy goal that you're going to accomplish. Adam, one of his things he wanted to accomplish is putting up our photos from this year and, changing them up in the house. So he was doing that yesterday. I'm like, this is so awesome. Makes us happy. So what's your masculine energy goal that you want to complete by December 31st? And then what is your goddess goal? What do you want to do for yourself? One more thing where you do something for yourself by the end of 2023. Hello. My mom is always live. Hi, mama. Hello, Carly. Hello, beautiful. So let me know if you picked one. And I want you to celebrate in the group when you do, when you complete it, share with us. People, when they start seeing people move, they want to calibrate. Sometimes we need those expanders. Sometimes we need people to go first so that we can get in the zone too. But this is a great way to build momentum, right? And the most important thing about this whole thing is the understanding that you gotta be mastered. You gotta have confidence. You gotta have discipline. You gotta be in your personal power. You gotta know you're the creator. You're the one that can change your life. No one else is coming. Like in your personal power, your masculine energy, the badass, that's where your results come from. And in terms of social media, why this is so important is because when you're the leader of your life and you're leading yourself and you're honoring your word and you're getting results and you're doing the thing, your life is shifting. That's the result of constantly taking action. You be the leader, then you become the influencer. And then people are like, wow, look at this girl. She's shifting, she's changing, she's growing, evolving. I want to walk with this lady. I want to know, what is it that's helping her? You are the one that they'll choose the product from because you're the one that's constantly moving and evolving, right? You're the role model. Right. And so what else is important is, because we're going to talk about like strategies and how we write and how we show up, your confidence in yourself is so important. People feel from you what you feel from you. And as we talked yesterday, in order to be like a match for power, which are people who are going to invest in themselves, who believe in themselves, who are going to do the work, like the only way you're going to attract those people is if you believe that they exist, if you believe that what you can do, they can do. And that only starts with you. When you know you can do something, you believe in people, and people only hire and invest in people that they know believe in them. This is how this works. So this is why the inner game, the wealth game, the success game, it's all an inner game. I took myself a 2-week vacation in the USA from Australia. It's amazing. 1 month of time blocking gym, Donna says. Amazing. And yes, to set up a morning routine, gym 4 times a week, and really focus on my feminine energy and leadership. And this is the best part, guys, is the masculine holds everything. When you do what you got to do, this is when you can actually like lean back and receive and relax. Feminine energy is the receiving energy. So something else that I just popped in my head to work on, and if you've been in my world, I talk about this a lot. How you do one thing is how you do most things. And if you want to be an amazing receiver of opportunities, of gifts, of money, you got to see how you receive in life. Hello, Patricia. Hello, beautiful. Hello, Karen. You got to see how you receive in life. Like a lot of women and all of us, like, we're bad receivers. Like we can't even like receive a compliment, let alone you get an expensive gift and you're like, oh my God, I can't receive this. We've also watched our moms be bad receivers, our dads fighting over who's going to pay the bill, can't have somebody pay for them. Like, so how you do one thing is how you do most things. And so when you're not good at receiving gifts from people, and you're not good at receiving someone even holding the door, buying you a free coffee, or just letting a compliment land for you, this creates a block in the receiving sequence of money, sex, power, and opportunities. How we do one thing is how we do most things. So another amazing code in order for you to start working on your receiving opportunities, monies, gifts, right? Sales, as we're going to talk about today, is for you to start being an amazing receiver in all areas of your life. And the people that want to give to people the most are the ones that are the most excited. So why is it that we want to spoil our kids? Because they're such excellent receivers. The giver wants to receive your happiness. So start working on that. This is going to be hard because a lot of us are not good at receiving. Creating my Kajabi website for masculine energy. I love it. Follow my schedule I made for myself first and help others complete plan projects. Deanna says, amazing. Karen says, I'm a terrible receiver. Taught me when you, then you owe them. Yeah, right. So there's another thing. Sometimes we're afraid to receive because it's like, oh, there's a string attached to this. And so this is important for you to understand, like when you're not good at receiving, it really does create an energetic block. It's like, it's like you're telling the universe this. Can't receive a compliment, can't receive free coffee, can't receive expensive gifts. And then the universe is like, well, I'm not going to send you the money, the people, the power, the influence, the visibility, because you can't even take a compliment. It makes you feel uncomfortable, like there's something wrong with it. So let's work on our receiving. We talk a lot about this in my program, Goddess Code. Hello, Helen. That's hard for me. Work in progress. Yes. Just start with letting people hold the door for you. When someone wants to buy you something, understand, unless you do have that intuition that this is the strings attached, then have that conversation. But right now, this is a challenge here. Okay, I got one more challenge for you guys, but it's like a game-changing challenge because it will help you receive a lot. I want you to challenge yourself starting today that you will receive everything that someone gives you. And what a beautiful time, because people want to give to you right now. They want to see you happy. And the way that a giver gets that receiving from you is you enjoy it. So if someone buys you a free coffee today, someone gives you an unexpected present over like in the next few weeks, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, universe. I'm so grateful. You're sending this energetic frequency out there. You're telling universe, I'm open. Send me more. I love gifts. I'll have them. Yes, amazing. Hello, JD. Hey, Queen. Happy to catch you live. Me too, gorgeous. Hi, Helen. Popped in to say hi. I love your background. Looks so beautiful. Thank you. We're in the Christmas vibes. Anita says accepted. Challenge accepted. Open yourself to receiving. And again, coming back to how the masculine energy, the badass is so important in us, is when you do what you got to do. And this is not about long to-do lists, guys. You just pick one thing you're going to do in your business today, one thing you're going to do for yourself, a goddess thing, and you do what you got to do. then you could actually embody the leaning back, the receiving, and you can relax, because a relaxed, calm nervous system is like a portal for give me more. And the more that you start shifting your whole identity around receiving and enjoying receiving, you're opening up the sequence to receiving more. And then again, it's that gratitude. Thank you, right? Even when you get a free coffee, that's like money in your pocket, right? Listen, sometimes when we're manifesting money, it doesn't always come in the actual, someone gives you money. It's like someone gives you a discount, someone buys you something for free, sends you somewhere. So it's like the more you're better at receiving and you're so grateful, you're compounding, you're amplifying that frequency. Yes, I'm completely open to receiving. I'm grateful for insights. I'm ready to receive. And it's a good reminder. If you've been in my world a long time, if you ever hear any repetition, I still live by this stuff. This is the golden stuff. And you guys know, sometimes we forget. Sometimes we get off track and we forget the most important things. This is why the biggest breakthroughs that I heard from yesterday were from people being like, oh my God, the frequency of gratitude. Oh my God. I have not been valuing this. I've not been valuing that. I've been stuck in this, oh, I want this other shiny thing, and forgetting that I have to build from where I am. Okay, so it's really powerful to remember this. So let's challenge ourselves. I'm going to receive, and I'm going to do one masculine energy goal by the end of December, before December 31st, and one goddess goal. And I want you to celebrate. And that celebration again, oh, that's like gratitude. Thank you, universe. Send me more. God gave me a hotel room upgrade in New York yesterday, and I was like, thank you, faith. Oh my God. And then you got to say, I'm a magnetic woman. I'm a powerful manifester. Like, just build that manifestation muscle. JD says, it took me 30 years to fully receive without guilt or awkwardness. I'm finally in a place where I say, thank you fully. Yes, that's so powerful. Trust me, that was a big shift at the beginning of my journey. And I'm sure there's probably a masterclass somewhere from like 4.5 years ago where I talk about this. I live by this. One of the affirmations I say often is I'm an excellent receiver. If someone doesn't want their money, gifts, opportunities, send it to me, universe, right? So let's dive into day 2, okay? But this is an important code, receiving. I'm an excellent receiver. Start accepting the gifts, the love, all the things people want to give to you. You're worthy, just like you were born, okay? So today is dedicated to the entrepreneur, okay? Those of you who want to use your social media in a powerful way to build a life that you want, to build the freedom that you want, to impact people, right? Back in the day, a long time ago, before we got social media, in order for you to be visible, in order for you to get on stage, on TV, on a radio, you had to know somebody. And then usually you had to tweak who you are to be on there. Today, we are so lucky. Like, it literally costs you $0 to start a multiple 6-figure, 7-figure, 8-figure business through social media. No one has to give you a mic. You get to take it and you get to build your stage. And so the whole before the money, we got to build it. We build our confidence. We build off our gratitude, right? Then we believe in people. They're coming. We believe if we can do it, they can do it. So we're a magnet for people who believe in themselves. So we're going to walk with us. And today we got to build the stage. So this is another badass conversation, even though it'll be a lot of energetic conversation. Hello, Phyllis, right? So we got to build it so they can come. Where's the money coming from? It's coming from social media. Right. And it's like, again, $0. That's all it costs you. And 99, because ever since I started, I've never used my website. I've never used a sales page or a sales funnel. So like 99.9% of my clients came from social media. The 101% was like me meeting someone at a coffee shop or something like that. But 99% of my clients came from social media, no sales ads, just my energy, my consistency, my no matter what. Showing up all the time, showing my evolution, like doing my best, and just a PayPal link, right? And I've helped like so many clients build a social media presence that has allowed them to design a life that they love and the freedom that they love. Like, we get to work from home. We get to have time freedom. This is the thing. This is why I brought gratitude into this conversation yesterday, because social media is something that is not valued enough for the amazing tool that it is. More people complain about it than actually use it for the amazing tool that it is. And it's true that anytime somebody hates social media, I know immediately it's because they're using it as a consumer and they're not using it as an intentional creator. And there's a lot of addictive patterns that I'm seeing. There's a lot of dangerous mindsets where people are either just mindlessly consuming, wasting hours of their day. Or one of the most addictive mindset that we're seeing on social media now is people using it for like validation. Like people are really addicted to the likes. They're checking the likes. They're checking how much attention they're getting, how much their post is getting. They're addicted to the comments, the shares, wondering if people like them, wondering if they decide, like if they're understanding them. There's a lot of people performing on social media, and they're forgetting the great tool that social media is. Oh man, I'm in the USA because I met a client on here that told me to come and stay. Oh, see, powerful. That's amazing. JD says, I always say, I'm not on social media. I use social media for business. Yeah, I am so intentional with my social media, guys. I am either putting my content out there, or I'm replying to DMs and I'm giving love to people who give me love, like that equal like tracks like, right? So I do time blocking. I've talked about this a lot. So if you have this hard time where, see, this is the thing. Some of us are using social media as a cop out. Like, yeah, I'm busy. I'm on my social media trying to look for inspiration. And we're using it as a cop out instead of like being intentional. And the thing is, if you're living a very intentional life and you're up to things and you're learning and you're actually doing things, like there should never be a moment in your life where you have nothing to talk about. Like if you're really living your life. My issue now is I have way too much to say and not enough, like I can't just post all day long, right? So if you're living a really intentional life, you have things to post, but don't use it as a cop-out that you're there scrolling, trying to look for inspiration. The entrepreneurs that are making impact, that are really making money from their social media, even if they have a small followers, are the entrepreneurs that are the creators, the intentional creators. They're not consumers. The ones that are making the most impact on social media, making money from it, is like, they know that they matter. They know what they talk about is important, and they know that the right people will find them. They are intentional users of social media. And they value social media. Like, how could you hate on social media and complain and then also value at the same time? You can't, right? Like most people are doing that. And it's the greatest tool, guys. Like you literally don't pay for it. It connects you to people worldwide. Like if you have an online business using social media, you have a global brand. You get to make money while you sleep. People all around the world get to find you. People get to share you. You connect with people globally, and it costs you $0, right? This is the greatest time right now. This is the era of the entrepreneur, right? So the first thing we have to do is we got to love on social media. We got to love it for the tool that it is. And we got to start having a business mindset of, this is a business tool. This is a valuable tool, and I'm not here to consume and use it unintentionally. This allows me to sell my gifts, my ideas, connect, like sell my products. And nothing works for you and you don't value it. Yep, truth, vanity metrics, follower numbers. Yeah, and who knows if that stuff's really real anyways. I feel like I don't even know about those numbers. Don't get stuck on the numbers. I made 6 figures with 56 clients and it had like 2,000 followers, but I would have been growing this to 2013. Like, don't get stuck. There's a lot of people like that have a lot of followers and they don't know how to monetize their social media. The numbers is where you start to feel like nobody cares, I don't matter. And then that energy, when you write things from that energy, this is why it doesn't work. Don't worry about the metrics. What's so important is that you feel good, you feel confident, and you want to share some potent things, and you want to share your genius, whatever that is. Hello, beautiful Michelle. It's okay. Hello, gorgeous. Just go back later. We talked about it receiving. So now we're talking about valuing the beautiful social media tool that it is, right? So no more mindless scrolling. You want another challenge to add? I don't want to overwhelm you, but start being intentional. If you feel like you get a little addicted to the scrolling or the validation, like give yourself a timer, like just 10 minutes and then I'm done. And if I don't get inspired by something, then I get off. We have to have a business mindset, and a successful mindset on social media is that it's a tool, and I'm grateful for it. And I'm not concerned with the likes and comments and getting addicted to the validation, because I'm so busy living my best life. And I'm so intentional that I don't need the validation. I validate myself because I'm a freaking badass, right? And then we understand the art of giving and receiving, the sequence in business, which we'll talk about today. But before I even dive into that, let's talk about energetics. So when you show up on social media, like who are you and how do you show up? Because how you show up matters so much. Like we're going to be working on our confidence in the behind the scenes so that we know that we can do this. We believe in ourselves. We believe in people's power. Well, we got to start embodying that version of ourselves, right? So if you're making six figures, we got to start embodying that seven-figure version of ourselves. If you haven't made six figures, you got to start like embodying that six-figure version of ourselves. Like if you think about that six-figure, seven-figure, eight-figure version of yourself, how does she show up for a live? How does she show up for a call that's going to make her like five figures right now? How does she show up when she knows she's going to get paid? How does she dress? How do you sit? If this was a conference call and you paid for this today, how are you sitting right now? What's your space like? How are you feeling? Right? If you're going to show up right now to do a live to sell something, are you embodying that seven-figure version of you? Like, how do you dress? What's your hair look like? You know, how are you sitting if you're sitting in a business meeting right now? Like embodiment is so important part of this, such an important part of this process. Start playing with that seven-figure, eight-figure version of you. You got to start being her now. How does she sit? How does she walk? How does she eat? How does she use social media? Does she consume and scroll all day? Does she compare herself? How do you show up on a live if you're about to make $10,000 right now? I love it. Yes. Like this is it. You know, like what are the outfits that make you feel like a boss, like a CEO? Would you wear jewelry? How would you do your hair? Because remember, it's not about what you do. It's about who you are when you're doing it. The energetics of how you write, how you show up is everything. And first impressions matter. When it comes to social media, first impressions matter. People decide if they want to follow you and get to know you within a few seconds that they land on your page. Be, do, then have. Yes. Hello, Tanya. Hello, gorgeous. 100%. Okay. First impressions matter on social media. What we want more than anything when it comes to social media is making a first good impression every single post. And why this is important, because this is what it's like. People like now have a less attention span, and people really do just land on your page. They look at your profile picture, they feel the vibe of your whole branding, and they decide right there if you're the person they want to follow. First impressions matter. So this is the way that I've been using my social media, and this is how I've been teaching it in my social media program, my sales program, is that the way I've used social media is it's a moving, evolving business card in real time. And if you guys know anything about where the future is going, the way that people are really going to be deciding, you know, like if you're the one for them, is they're going to be looking at your social media. Like right now, if you were to not be an entrepreneur, like businesses, actually, they're saying now there's going to be less of these interviews and no more resumes, and your resume is literally going to be your social media. So right now, if you were to look at your social media, are you proud of it? If this is your business card and you are out right now and someone asked you, oh my God, can I have your business card? And you're like, yes, it's my social media. Would you be proud to give it to them? So we got to be more intentional with how our business card looks. And yes, people can listen, you can kill it and make it and literally be amazing if your social media is not like aesthetically beautiful. It's not about aesthetics, but a lot of people do judge on aesthetics. But if you have amazing content and you have authenticity and there's something about your vibe, people will get pulled in no matter what, right? If your content's out of this world. But when people just land on a page, first impressions matter. And so your social media is your evolving in real time business card, and every post matters. And what we forget a lot when we're posting on social media is we get used to, this is why looking at metrics, you start to get used to the people that you're seeing, and you start thinking, these are the only people that are watching me. And so now I constantly keep just like talking to them without realizing that we're writing first impression posts for the new person that's coming across our page for the very first time. And so like if every single time someone lands on your page and they see the sales post, like it's like, what, like this is that what you want people to feel from you? We want no pressure. Yes, sales posts are important, but we want people to land and be like, wow, I like what this woman says. I want to get to know her more. Like, who is this woman? Right? Like if you post half-assed things and you don't put effort in your photos, even if you're doing selfies, because I started with selfies and people still kill it in selfies. There's seven-figure entrepreneurs doing selfies, but they put effort in it and they actually put intentionality in it. And so if a new person's coming across your page right now, the post that you have currently up there and the profile picture and the way it looks, like, Are you proud that this is your business card? Because first impressions are important. And here's the thing, this is not about writing new content every day, not creating new impression posts. This is about like understanding that you have a brand message, you stand for something, right? You stand, and it's just about writing that brand message in different angles. Like I'm pretty sure most of you, if you read some of my posts, it's all about courage and you can do it and you can have it all. Like there's a lot of my brand message in all my posts, right? So it's not about recreating things. It's actually being redundant. It's actually just switching it up. Like it's a quote of what you stand for. It's a longer thought post. It's a story. Because the people that, this is what we don't remember, that people that watch you and they already love you, they don't care that you're repeating yourself in a different way. They already know they love you, right? But there's people that we're attracting that are new people. And so what's the first impression that you want to give them? Because they will decide in a matter of like 10 seconds whether they want to follow you and get to know you. Like right now, like, how's your profile picture? Does it really, it's not about having a professional picture, but does your profile picture, like, does it represent you? Does it make someone feel like I want to get to know them? If you use social media on Instagram, like use Instagram, look at those 3 posts that you have pinned up. Look at the highlights that you have. Like, does it all represent your vibe? Is it kind of cohesive? Is there something about your brand story in those? Right? Because they're going to start reading it. If they feel your vibe once they land, they're like, okay, I want to get to know her. Let me see what she's about in her highlights. Let me look at the 3 pinned posts there. People feel you before they hear you. And even when it comes to products, people buy the person. They buy from the person they admire. They buy from the person that feels like their vibe. They buy from the person that they can feel like they stand for something that they stand for. They buy from people they want to learn from, to calibrate to, like the people that are having what they want. Like people really do this, choose to follow you because of who you are, not necessarily what you're selling, right? So your social media is your revolving business card. Is it relevant? Is it showcasing what you're up to right now? And are you proud of it right now? And now you only get like 2.7 seconds to make a first impression. See? Yeah. And the algorithm, what do they say? I think it's at 7% of people see your stuff now. So first impressions do matter. And I'm telling you, like, this is not just about aesthetics. This is about that, like what you're putting out there. Right. And again, like I'm telling you guys, I know a lot of people that are successful with like, selfies, and they don't have the perfect professional photos, but they're still killing it because of the energy of what they're doing and what they're standing for. Right. So okay, let's talk about products first, and then we'll talk about services. Right. And so the last masterclass I did, I asked you guys, like, unconventional success codes masterclass, I asked you guys, where do you guys buy from the most? And people were saying Facebook and Instagram, right? This is where people buy the most. And so this is kind of where I focus the most on these 2 platforms. And this is what we're talking about today. But like, let's say I'm wearing a beautiful foundation and you're like, where did you get that? And what is it called? And I'm like, oh, it's called Glowing Skin. You should check them out on Instagram. They have different shades. Okay. Okay. So let's say you like the foundation I'm wearing. I give you the name. And if you were considering buying this makeup and you're about to go to the social media account to find out more, and you were already expecting to buy it just because you like how it looks on me, what are you expecting to see on an account? So this is good for product owners. So pay attention. Everybody here who's here, hashtag replay, let me know if you wanted to go buy makeup and someone said, go to this social media page. This is where it is. If you were considering buying it, what would you expect to see on the account? Let me know if you're going to buy it. So for me, I will say, hi, Rebecca. I will say I would want to see on that account, if I was considering buying that makeup, like I want to see great quality photos. I want to see like people wearing it, different shades, reviews. I want to see testimonials. I want to see the makeup on people, maybe some demos of it, different kinds of people, different skin tones, happy clients, right? Those reviews, that's important for products, the brand story, and then of course, when it comes to products, I'm going to put something on my face. I want to know the quality of the makeup, and I want to know, like, how long does it last? The product and the link to purchase. Yes, the link, right? So most people, when they're buying a product, they look at the photos, they want to see the reviews, they want to see the happy clients, they want to know that this is a quality brand. you know? If like they want to see people wearing it, like how long does it last? Like they maybe in the highlights, they want to see like some information about the ingredients, right? Does it come from a good place? Does it like, is it going to last? Is it going to be good for my skin? Any social cause, is it vegan or organic? Yeah, I'd want to see, Anita says, I want to see great images for the brand, clarity on what's being sold, right? Like for products. So the thing is, products, it's not that complicated to market products. Products get marketed and sold on social media through great photos, like great imagery, great photos of the product, models or influencers wearing it, videos, demos, testimonials, and like basically like the quality of it. But great photos, great videos, reviews, happy clients are the best things that sell products on social media. Different types of people wearing it. Yep. So think about this, right? Like, and they like, if no one knows you, it is great to get someone that's an influencer, right? So think about Kylie Jenner, right? Like when she opened up her lip brand, like people like skyrocket, right? She has an iconic personal brand. So even if your products, you can get influencers to sell it for you, or you can build your own personal brand. If you were selling products, but it's part of a network marketing company, again, we want to be marketing those products. We want great images of the products. We want some demos. We want some reviews. We want happy clients. We want to see that, right? And then, of course, the reason people choose you is because you are, even though you're in an MLM, like you are building a personal brand, right? You are representing, you are the influencer of this amazing business. So a lot of it is about you, right? And if you're like, people want to see who you are, your personal presence has to be really strong. And then if you're also wanting people to join your team for your MLM, we want a mix of that lifestyle, right? We want to share the extraordinary parts of being part of this company. Like you get to go on trips, right? Like what are the amazing bonuses if you're in a network marketing company? Let us know, like, what is it, right? So we want to see that. If I was going to join that, I want to see, oh my God, like, look at this lifestyle. She gets to work from home. You get to make this money. The products are amazing. Look at the happy clients, right? The before and the after. Yeah. Right. So like, if you're in network marketing, like, great images of the products, you using the products, being happy, videos, demos, reviews, and then the lifestyle of being part of this amazing company, right? Like time freedom, location freedom. I get to win trips. There's opportunities. There's, there's all this money that I can make, right? Then you get this sisterhood too, right? You get all these cool people on your team, right? So you want a mix of both of those. For products, it is solely like the photos, videos, the testimonials, reviews, happy clients. All right. Now, if you're selling a service and you also have a product, then you're going to want to build a personal brand, right? And this is why I believe in personal brands so much, and the digital, the social media, because like when you have a personal brand, like if I keep building this personal brand, I could come up with journals, I can come up with calendars and pens, and it would sell. And it would sell because of me though. Right. So even if you're part of an MLM, the reason people choose to buy those products and join your team is because of you. So your personal presence has to be there. Hello, JD. Hello, Helena. Right. There's a lot of power in building personal brands, and then you can sell anything. Right. Look at the Kardashians. Like they can literally sell anything. It does not matter. They can sell like toilet cleaners like at this point. Right. And so that's why a lot of product companies, they bring in celebrities and influencers, right? Once you have an influential, charismatic person behind the makeup, you'll sell more of it, right? So the key to having a strong personal brand, again, is what we talked about yesterday, is the influencer effect. Like, how has this changed your life? Like what has it done for you? How much growth have you had in your life? And it's showing that you're evolving, growing, you're happier, you're doing all this stuff. That's what makes people pull to you. Right. And then, if you are a coach, okay. If you're a coach, well, why would you want to buy coaching? So one thing I want to say before I actually talk about like coaching, how you would want to brand this is like social media, first impressions. Don't ask questions also, what would people want to see? This is the wrong thing that we ask. Like what people? The people in your head? Like, so first of all, don't ask that question. What do people want to see? It's more or less like, what do you want to see? If you were going to buy makeup, what do you want to see? Because you do attract who you are. We attract who we are. So what do you want to see on a page that's selling something that you want to buy? Like, and then you do that too. Don't ask what should I show? Looking for validation. It's like, what would I want to see if I was going to buy this, right? So we talk about coaching and you wanted a total life transformation, business transformation. So you're looking for a life business mentor. What do you want to see from a coach that you want to buy from? Do you land on their page? What do you want to see? You want to see that this person takes their business seriously. You want to see that they care about how their business card looks. You want to see, like if we're looking for business transformation and life transformation, we want to see that they have a business that works. You want to see that they have the lifestyle that you want. You want to see that they have a relationship that works, a family life that works. You want to see testimonials from clients. You want to see the location freedom, the time freedom, the evolution, right? You want to read their story. You want to look through their highlights. What do they got offered right now? What do they have got going on? You want to read their thoughts, how they think, their mindset. You want to watch videos, results, transformation. I want to feel empowerment in their messaging. Yeah. Right. And like if it was just business coaching, right, there's going to be a lot of like, financial blueprint transformations. You want to see testimonials. You want to see those client celebrations. You want to see that the person's actual lifestyle is evolving, right? Because a lot of people can say they make a lot of money and then like nothing about their branding has changed, nothing about their life has changed, but they're making all this money. It's a little weird, right? Like you also want to maybe click on their stories and see that they're actually working, right? They want to see the evolution of the brand, money celebration. If you were a fitness health coach, we want to see that healthy lifestyle. We want to see that you have a life and a business that works. You want to see the before and after client testimonials, the brand story. Hello, Kelly. I have a hard time sharing results because I assume my clients don't want their stuff out there. So you get to ask, you get to ask, hey, so always ask for testimonials. This is one of the most powerful ways if you're doing any sort of even products. We always want to ask our clients, would you mind writing us a testimonial, a review, right? Putting those up. Testimonials really do build our credibility. As coaches, this is really important. We are just wrapping up my program Coach Academy, and we're talking about like ask for testimonials. And even if you're starting out, you can do an energetic exchange. Hey, like if we do a coaching call, would you want to do an energetic exchange and write me a testimonial? Because testimonials really do build our credibility, right? So testimonials are great. Having those up are really, really important for like everything, for your product, for the service, right? And then really looking at your business card, like, does it represent you? Does it feel like a good first impression? And it's not about what do people want to see? It's what do I want to see if I was going to hire a coach, a business coach? What do I want to see if I was going to buy makeup? What do I want to see? We attract who we are. I'm a realtor and do coaching. Should I do 2 separate pages? No, you can do both, Shelly. Shelly, if you have a personal brand, then you can be all of it. And there is nothing wrong if you wanted to have 2 different accounts, but I feel like to make your life easier, bring it all in one account. Because even like if you're a realtor, like your coaching helps that business, right? In terms of leadership, marketing, sales. So combine them both. You do like a business coaching and doing real estate. Those totally work. Hello, gorgeous. Right? So look at your business card. And the most important thing is also like, is it the real you? Is it the real you? Does it represent who you are? Because this is how a sale is possible. When people land on your page and go, Alina, I love your style. Thank you. And now the sale is possible. When someone says, oh my God, Alina, I love your vibe. I love your energy, Alina. Thank you. Now the sale is possible. Oh my God, Alina, I love your story. Like I went through something similar. Now the sale is possible. The connection is made. This is so important. Is like the presence of your social media. Is it you? Does it feel like you? And yes, you can like model what you like out there, right? Because I love like the dark Vogue aesthetics. That's like where my branding is going. But I'm not like, oh my God, I have to do it like her because it's working for her. That's what I like. If you looked at my closet, most of it's black. And that's just who I am. You're lucky I'm wearing red today, guys. It's a treat. There's not like I'm wearing pink on the weekend. It's not of that. It's like that's just who I am, right? So it's very like dark. It's like got that bold energy. Let's move, let's make magic happen, let's go, powerful. That's just who I am. Because people, when they feel like I'm like this too, or they just love your vibe, that's when the sale is possible. Like, so who are you and is it represented? Facebook is getting brutal on with people with multiple personal accounts now, especially if you're not real name or multiple accounts. See, there's a lot of things happening. Thanks for sharing that, Faith. With one name, it's shutting people down. Okay, so keep it all in one thing. Makes your life easier. Just build a personal brand. This is what I love to help people do, is build a personal brand, because then it doesn't matter which way you go. But I always say, start with a signature thing, get known for it, and then start adding. Would it really be weird if I started selling journals, guys? Would it? Of course it would not. And pens and things like that. It totally goes with my brand. Oh my God, we must be twin souls. Mine is very old fashioned, forward, inspired, with lots of black, white, and gold. Yeah, and I have gold too, right? Like the wealth, the luxury. That's the vibe, right? So you can model. So if you're like not really sure about what your identity is, like you can go see, like, what do I love? Like, build your social media in a way that, like, how would I want to be captivated by this? What do you want to see? What captivates you? Okay, because it's not about being a performative peacock, okay, where we're trying to like impress people to get them to like us. We want them to just like land on our page and be like, I love this woman's vibe. Like, I want to get to know her. Like, I love her bio, what she stands for. It represents what I stand for. 90% of people post online, though, they're doing it for validation, for wanting to matter. And the people who really know how to use social media for money and wealth, they already know, it's the energetics of it, that they do matter, that people are going to read it. They write knowing people will read it, and they just do what they got to do with potential, with like potent content, and then they get paid. The key to have a magnetic social media presence is show up and write with the expectation that people already love you and they are reading it. This is like such a huge energetic shift. You gotta write and show up like you do matter. You gotta write like you matter. You gotta write like people are reading it. And here's the thing, don't look at the metrics, because there are more people reading your stuff than telling you. There are more people creeping you and being creepy neighbors than they will ever tell you. Trust me, a lot of people who buy from me are not the people that are liking and sharing all my stuff. They're the people that just come out of nowhere, or they're like, I've been watching you for 2 years and I'm ready, let's go, because this is their aligned timing. Right. And so the other thing we want to look at is like, yes, we need to catch people really quickly. So we need to have a vibe. That's our vibe, because we attract who we are. And then the other thing is, like, when it comes to your posts, what's your point? Like, what's your point? Like, what is the brand message? What are you trying to get across? Why are you doing this? And then how many different creative ways can you get your point across in a different angle? Because it's not about coming up with new things every day. You just need to come up with a new way of saying the same thing every day. Your brand message actually should feel repetitive and redundant, right? It's not something new. It's just like, here's another way that I'm telling you to be brave and to go after it, and you can have it all and step into your power, right? The idea of good brand content is to find multiple ways to share your message. What is the point you want to bring across in your business page? So if you have an MLM, what is it that you really are pushing? Is it the product, or is it like the time freedom, the fact that you get to work from home and you get to impact people and you get to go on all these trips, like you get to be wealthy from this thing? Like, what is your point? If you're a coach, what's the point that you are relaying across? I have more people creeping me than showing likes, etc. 100,000,000%. It's the fact. It's true. Right? One of my points in my brand is like, I talk a lot about be brave. If you clicked on a few different posts, you would know it's like, go after it. It's now. The time is now. There's a lot of that. There's also a lot of my brand points are like, you can have it all. You can be successful. You don't have to sacrifice. Right? And this is why I talk a lot about having that strong badass and that strong and that goddess energy. I want people to feel like free and fulfilled, and I want them to live out their purpose, like get out of the matrix and like take ownership of your life. We get to do it our way and we get to be happy. There are no rules, right? And so there are just different ways that I say that in different ways. And trust me, like, you get to repurpose content. You get to repurpose content that you wrote 2 months ago. A lot of people will be like, I'm so happy that you wrote this again, or you reposted this again. I need to hear it. The people who already love you, they do not care that you're repeating yourself. Remember, we're talking to the people coming across our page for the very first time. What's the impression that we want from them? It's got to be like, hi, I'm Alina. This is what I stand for. This is what I want to do. Welcome to my page. I'm excited that you're here. And this is the point that I'm bringing across. Is it possible to build a business like you with MLM, work 2 to 4 hours family time, or do you think it's mostly for coaching? No, not at all, right? Because how are you working with your MLM? Because I don't believe that you should be like hustling all the time. I really believe if you took the energy if you took the time to put in the energy of like really getting yourself in a good place, and we're going to talk about getting more into that energy, and you wrote posts and you really just shared, like, you don't have to be on stories all day long either. Like if you could post like 4 different stories that get your brand point across, like freedom, location freedom. This is my agenda today. Like that's the stuff that sells. It sells for coaching and MLMs, because coaches are also trying to teach people live your free life. You can have it all, location freedom, time freedom. So we constantly want to get that across in our stories. So just like you should not be hustling and working. It does not take that long to write a post. And if you're living a very aligned life, so you're studying, you're using the products, you've got the time freedom. I love agenda posts in the stories. Like this is what I'm doing today, because it's like, I'm an entrepreneur. I get to wake up and today I'm going to write content for an hour, and then I'm going to do a live, and then I'm going to relax, and then I'm going to do some coaching with Alina, right? Like sharing those agendas are really important too. Your energy on social media is everything. Yeah, I don't care that Alina repeats herself. No. And you guys don't care that the people that you love, that they repeat themselves. You already stand for what they stand for. We forget because we keep looking and we think this is the issue, is we think that there's only certain people looking at us, but there's so many new people coming across your page for the very first time. And if you start talking to the people that you think they're only there watching you, there's a way that you talk that makes you feel like you're just talking to certain people, very inclusive. And then the new person's like, I don't feel like I fit here. We want to write first impression posts for the first person coming across our page for the very first time. We're getting our brand point across in different ways. And then we're using stories to showcase the behind the scenes of the brand point. What are you selling? Time freedom, location freedom. I have it all. I have a relationship that works. We're like, everything that I sell is a mix of all my stories. Like that whole embodiment piece, it's so, so important. Right, Donna? So like just pay attention to this class, because I think the people that are just overworking are either chasing people, thinking they got to show up a million times. And it's like, no, we can write one piece of potent content and believe that the right person is going to find it and buy in that moment. And so be it. Amen. Hallelujah. Thank you, universe. Like that gets to happen for you. But what is the point that you want to bring across your business? And how do you say it in different ways? Right? It's because the people in our audience are all at different levels of awareness. Yeah. And again, like, remember, sometimes people find you and they love that one post. And then because the algorithm does, again, like, I'm pretty sure someone said the last couple of weeks ago that it's like 7% of your audience sees your content because of the algorithm right now. So that means that you could, like, and I wouldn't suggest this, but you could literally write the same thing the next day, but I wouldn't suggest it. I would just make it different. If you looked at my Facebook, there's variety. There's a quote, there's a lifestyle photo, there's a message, there's my thought, there's a story, but it's all bringing the brand point across in different angles. There's a photo, then there's like me doing something. And if you click my story, it's all in alignment with who I am, right? I sell relationship coaching, I sell body coaching, I sell business coaching, marketing coaching, and you see pieces of that all over my social media. The behind the scenes, that's where people really get to know you. But the timeline, the posts, those are the first impression posts for the people coming across your page for the very first time. And when you get them with a welcoming post, I'm happy you're here for it, this is what I stand for, then they want to look at your stories. The people that are in your stories, they love you. And they're just like, oh my God, she's embodied. This is the person. Timing writing. So maybe they don't have clarity or alignment. That's why they need so much time writing posts. Yeah, sometimes we get stuck, but like, some days you write a quote, some days you have a lifestyle photo, some days you go live. Like, we want variety anyways, because the algorithm likes that. We don't want just thought post, right? Sales post, sales post, sales post. Like, no, we don't want that. We want variety too. So if you live a really aligned life in alignment with what you stand for, there should always be things you can show. We should not be addicted. Like 10 minutes a day going on there, sharing a few stories is all we need. Hello, Jolene. Hello, Ashley. Okay, so Faith says it's between 6 to 10%, but only if you are engaging. Just posting alone these days causes newbies to struggle. No posting, ghosting as a newbie with low following. Yeah, Faith is so good at this stuff. You guys should give her a follow. She's amazing. She's all about that stuff. Like, and I think Faith, like, you shouldn't put links and stuff too. But again, regardless too, this is the thing. We don't want to get stuck on the algorithm, because this is the truth. When people love you, even if they're not seeing your stuff, just like when you love your friend, you go into your contacts and find them and message them. This is how I believe it is. It's like, if you haven't seen my stuff for a while, you're like, what's Alina up to? You're going to just go search me up. When people love you, they'll go find you. So it's okay, right? It's just like the same way you are. Like, you probably haven't seen certain people you love in a while because of the algorithm, but then you'll go look for them in the search handle. So don't get stuck on the algorithm. It's fine. What's important is that what you're showing up, you're potent, and you're getting your brand message across in different angles. Okay. We want people to come to our page for the very first time and get what we stand for. So I want you to look at your social media. Does it stand for like what you stand for? Does it represent? Is it a beautiful first impression post? Right. And so here's some homework you guys can work on is I want you to practice, like, what's your brand point? What are you trying to get across? And tell a story with that. Storytelling is so powerful. When you tell a story about why you stand for what you stand for, it makes people feel why it matters. They want to feel and know why this point matters. And your story is what makes it matter, because they feel it through you. So if I were to take one of my brand core points, right, which is like, you have the power to design the life that you love and the way that you want. There are no rules. You get to make the rules. You get to be paid doing what you love. I tell a story about how I ended up in coaching, how I designed this life, and how and then how like everybody can monetize their passions and their gifts, but they got to be brave. Right. So people want to know through your eyes why your points matter. Storytelling is so, so important. And I love telling stories about like the lessons that I've gotten, the realizations that I've had in my life. If I just say, this is the lesson, like you guys have heard me say, everything happens for you, not to you. If I just say that, it's not as potent until I tell you like an actual story. And I tell you about like, it actually happened for me, that the relationship failed, that I got into this debt, and then I figured out how to rewire my blueprint, because everything that I created came from a place of like, oh my God, why is this happening to me? This is so awful. And then now in hindsight, I'm like, oh, this happened because then I had to unblock this belief. I had to do this and I had to go this way. And then I tell a story about it and then it lands. People know, like in my world, the lessons you remember, it's because of the story that came with it. So you gotta, what's your story? Why did you start this business? Why do you sell this product? Why just the lesson? Where did you realize it? What story? You are so right. That's a huge thing I've learned from you this year. See? Like everything I look back in hindsight, I'm like, oh yes, I had to have that heartbreak because this is the person I became. Everything in my life, when I look back on it, the bad stuff, the hard stuff, it shaped who I am. It made me have a realization, a breakthrough, a code. My programs are all codes because I had to go through some stuff. And then I learned this thing, and then I had this realization, and then I teach you through the story, and then it lands in your heart because you feel it and it matters. This is why just teaching a lesson doesn't matter. This is why like the teachers that just taught you a lesson without the story, you just don't remember, you just don't care about the story. But when someone tells you a story, like imagine having a teacher being like, get surrounded in this campfire, and they told you this amazing story, like, and then this happened and this happened. Like that's how you get kids engaged. The same thing with social media. What's the story? Why are you doing what you're doing? If I just share the lessons, like it doesn't create connection. The connection gets created through your storytelling. And I always say this, you should tell your story at least twice a month, like how you went from this and you're this. That also showcases your evolution, your growth, right? Even if it's not a material thing, it's like I used to be unhappy and postpartum depression, anxiety, and now I'm happy and I'm grateful for my life, and I wake up and I have purpose now. That's so powerful. Storytelling is how we connect with people. Storytelling is what makes people feel. And when you make people feel, you make them move. Storytelling is one of the greatest ways that we get our brand point across. And storytelling, again, it leads to feelings. And when people feel things, they feel connected to you. They want to move with you. This is why the best commercials in the world, like especially during the Super Bowl, are ones that get you feeling in the feels. And that's how you remember the brand. That's how you remember the lesson. You know, I tell coaches all the time, like tell a story. That's how you connect the lesson. And those people will not forget it. And they'll always remember you. I have people all the time, like from 4 years ago being like, I still remember when you taught me this. And I still remember. And it's like the lesson lands because of the story too. There's a connection. So I want you guys to start using storytelling. I want you to figure out what is the point I'm getting across and how do I say it in multiple ways? How do I make a first impression post? And then really use your social media as an evolving in real time business card. The other thing I want to say is let's talk about giving and receiving. Right. So we did talk a little bit about receiving this like at the beginning here that came into my mind, and that was great and amazing. We all need that reminder. Let's be amazing receivers. This is the time for receiving and giving. But when it comes to social media and money and sales, there is a giving and receiving sequence of business, and we have to trust in that. It means when you market and you share value, like something like I'm doing this masterclass, this is me giving. And the reason I can lean back and trust in receiving is because I gave and I trust in the receiving sequence, but I do not attach anything to timing. When you create valuable posts, when you create content, when you spend time in the DM with someone today, you must trust that you just gave. And that means giving always has a receiving and it will be reciprocated. Like, I know that if I do this free masterclass, some people buy, some people might not, some people will share, some people will stay in longer. Some people are like, oh my God, let's go. Like someone jumped in yesterday to something like I trust that people have their own line timing. So this is the issue. We think that just because we're giving that we have to receive now. But what's important is that no matter what you give, the fact is that you did give, you did serve, you did show up, and then there is a receiving attached to that. But it cannot be attached to now. This is where a lot of entrepreneurs unplug and they quit. What changed my business is the understanding that all my giving will have a receiving, but it can't be attached to me wanting it now. But it's all coming back to you. It just can't be on the time that you wanted. This is where entrepreneurs make mistakes. I spent so much time with this person in my DMs and then they didn't even buy, and this means I failed. No, that's not true at all. It's just that it's not their aligned timing. And sometimes just because we're giving to one person doesn't mean it's going to be reciprocated from that person. It actually means that they could be like, you know what? I'm not the person to be in Alina's program, but I know exactly who would benefit from this. I've had so many clients share with their mom, with their family, or people that just share my master classes, and then there are people coming to my world. Doesn't always mean the person that you serve to is the one that's going to buy from you. But there is like this understanding that if you give and you give value and you spend any energy out there, it will be reciprocated, but it cannot be attached to timing. Whoever has thought about buying from me and then you just decided not to, but then you did like a year later or a few months later. See, what we forget is just because we gave now does not mean we're going to receive now. People, like everything in nature, has its own aligned timing. Think about fruits, vegetables, and animals. Everybody walks and grows and like at all different times. Same with humans. You got to look at every single potential person that comes across your page. Could be a vegetable, a strawberry, an animal. They're growing at a different time. And when they're going to be ready, that's their timing. Everything has an aligned timing in the universe. There are people in your audience right now that are just talking to their husband. There are people right now that are on the edge. They're just like, they have it in their cart and they're just ready to they're almost ready to press pay. There are some people who are like, I need to watch her for another year. There's some people who are going to watch you for 2 years. And then there's some people who are like a deer. You're born and then they start walking. And then you have human babies that just like useless for years. I don't know why the world's like this, but everything grows at a different time. Like animals just get out there and start doing things. And then there's little birds and they need a whole season before they can fly away. You got to look at everybody that comes across your page and interacts with you as like everybody is on their own timing and they grow at different timelines. But if you feel like the person that you just gave to has to buy right now, then they're going to feel that weird pressure and then they're not going to come back. You got to trust people's timing. This is the entrepreneur mindset. This is with the mindset of a businesswoman, a businessman. I give now and I will receive forever. I give now and I will receive forever. I don't know the timeline, but I know there is going to be receiving at some point. I could plant a seed today and not be able to receive that person for a year. Or I could plant something a year ago and now somebody's ready. Like, what matters is that you're showing up every day, and every single post is like you are like a farmer and you're planting seeds, and you got to show up and you got to water those crops just like you believe it's growing, even if you don't see it. What about the farmer who can't see the seeds and he's walking all over his, ground and soil and doesn't water it, doesn't hire the people? No, we go first. We got to pay for the water. We got to water our crops. We got to believe that it's growing beneath the surface, and we just got to trust. We push people too soon, and then we get in this energy where we're like, oh, why aren't they buying? And once you start checking your phone, okay, so this is something else about energetics. Like, if you're not trusting that people are going to buy on their online timing, and you keep checking your PayPal and your phone, and you just keep refreshing it in the energy that you're checking it and you don't believe. And then because in the energy that you're checking, you don't believe, you change the outcome. The person gets a ping like, this is not my person. You got to trust everybody has their own aligned timing. I love that. The whole point is that you are giving, and you got to trust. I am showing up, God, universe. I am giving value. I am building connections. I will receive, but I cannot attach it to timing. This is where we get in our head that the buyers are not here and it's not working. And then we give up, but we forget that the giving and receiving sequence, it happens on online timing. If you show up every single day, there could be next year, every single day, you could be making money off someone that's ready to jump into your stuff. And then you can trust, literally, there are people who are just like, I just found you, Alina, and I'm going all in, and they buy your highest offer. That happens. You got to believe in magic and miracles, but you got to be that kind of person that believes that. And this is the other thing too. If someone asks you for information or they want a link, do not go into their DM and be like, did you remember? Like trying to force them? Then they're like, ugh. People hate when you get in their DMs because now they feel like, oh no, she wants me to buy, and they feel pushy. And then you're not trusting their aligned timing, and they don't want to circle back. I've always trusted, like even people ask me for links and I don't hear from them, I just trust they're going to circle back. But I know if I go into their DMs and try to push them, they're never going to come back. And they're going to be like, I'm afraid to go back there. And the same thing is with like somebody likes something and you're already in their DMs, like people are afraid to like stuff. This is actually a big reason why sometimes people don't even like our stuff, because there's some people who are like, oh, I saw you like my post. Are you interested in buying blah, blah, blah? People do that. Now everybody's scared. I'm like, oh God, if I like this girl's branding, God forbid, she's going to come and sell, right? Rebecca's just on my way to an appointment. Of course. Love you. Hello, Shira. Hello, Bobby. Anita, I've always felt such a non-attachment from you. Yeah, I'm so happy. Faith says, yep, I got two now doing it to me right now, and I want to unfriend them. Just trust. Gosh, I love this so much. I'm so happy. Just trust. Trust. If you really do believe that you give your best, and this is what you're meant to do, you got to trust people's timing. And I'm really interested in business longevity. If you do the Business Builder Collective with me, this is something that I'm going to start the whole conversation around. Like, business longevity comes from that, that you're constantly building a business where people are choosing you, and you never had to chase anybody. You never had to push anybody. I'd never in 4.5 years had somebody come back and say, I changed my mind, or like, this was not something I wanted. This is why I sell the way that I sell too, meaning I opened up a masterclass, I share content, I give free things, and I just trust if you like this, then you're going to come and ask me for a link, because I attract geniuses. But I know, especially when it comes to coaching, it's like walking around, knocking on people's door, like, hey, do you want therapy? And like pushing people into therapy that they're not ready for that, or coaching, want to grow now, like, and then you get the wrong people in there. And then there's all kinds of things that could happen that are not good. Just trust people's timing. Trust that your social media is like, you're this farmer You believe everything's growing and you're watering your crops every single day. I give now, I receive forever. That's the mantra. I do my best now and I give now and I will receive forever. And when it comes to sales, the most important thing energetically is that you know what you're doing and you know what you're offering is actually beneficial to people. People can feel when you're not really actually confident in what you sell. The most important thing that we have to know on the inside is that what we're doing is beneficial to people. We need to know that on a soul level, that what we're selling is actually valuable to people. This is the energy that people feel from us. If there's any doubt or hesitation about you thinking what I'm selling is not valuable, it's going to become hard to sell. And it's going to become really hard to show up. It becomes hard to write. It becomes hard to believe that anytime you post, someone could buy. It's hard to believe in miracles and magic and possibilities if you don't believe what you're selling is beneficial. So like, here's the other thing is like, what you're selling, are you proud of it? Is it valuable? Is it actually going to help somebody? If not, go back to the drawing board and make it better. Take yourself through the process. I was saying this to my clients in my Coach Academy program. And I was saying how like the great coach that you feel that confidence from when they sell, it's the person that like took themselves through their method, through their process. And they're like, yeah, this works. This changed my life. I'm more confident, more happier. My financial blueprint has changed. Like take yourself through it. If you ever have any doubts as a coach, go through your process and remind yourself again, how beneficial and credible it is what you sell. And then when you're in the energetics of like, oh my gosh, this thing is so beautiful. This is so beneficial. The most magnetic sales posts feel like you're literally writing a love letter to your client. Like I feel like I write a love letter to my ideal client when I'm sharing from a place of like, I'm so proud of the programs and the coaching that I've created. Like I'm writing a love letter. That energy right there, that is so potent. It's all about energetics, guys. You got to believe in what you're selling. I believe so much in my programs and my coaching. I have no doubt that someone will not be changed by it if they actually do it though, right? Because can't get you to show up. A lot of people are like, I bought this, I bought that. And I know a bunch of stuff, but what you know, did it actually change you? Because otherwise people don't care, right? Anybody can know anything, but did it change you? So there can't be any doubt at all. You got to believe the people are there. You got to believe in the giving and receiving sequence of sales. And you got to believe that what you're selling and what you're offering is beneficial. It will change people's lives because it changes yours, right? I'm not at all in the business of being consenting. Yeah, no, right? And then people get mad at you. And this is where people are like, yeah, no, I'm not happy to be here. They don't get results. That doesn't work for business. Faith says, do you love it? Because if you don't, you will sabotage the sale in some way. Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. And so you got to see the value in what you're selling. You got to see the value in yourself. This is really important. Otherwise, selling is really, really hard. The reason I talked to you guys a lot about gratitude yesterday too, and building confidence is because that energetics, when you do that stuff, this is why I always take myself through my process of my gratitude. And then I do the things I got to do. I'm confident. Then I show up and I write posts from that energy. Like, then it's so magnetic because I feel good inside and you can feel that. I feel everything I'm sharing is valuable and it's intentional. I know people are reading it. I write from an energy of like, I know someone's going to read this. You write and you show up so different on social media when you have the certainty that this is valuable, I matter, and people know it matters, and the buyers are coming. And so be it. They show up. Journal on this tonight. What if you believed every single time you posted on social media that this giving that you're giving is going to be you receiving forever? How would you write and post if right now someone is going to buy that thing that you're talking about? How intentional would you be with your content if people can find you and buy from you at any moment? A love letter to your person. Yeah, because that's what it is. I know all of you are heart-centered entrepreneurs. I know none of you are selling something that is not good. You're all selling something because you're like, this changed my life. This gave me time freedom. This gave me confidence. This made my skin better, my relationship better. My finances have changed. I am more happier. Like, if you know that and your heart centered like that, then it's just about working on your own value and believing the people are there. There are people watching you more than they're telling you. There are so many creepy neighbors that you have. When you go and write in a post with the mindset of like, I don't know what to say, and you're like, no one's going to even read it anyways, what's the point? That energy is going to call in that energetic match of that. But if you believed everything that I write and post is making a huge difference in my business, in someone's life, what do I want to post right now? If you're posting because you should and you're hoping it works, it's not the same energy. You got to get in the mindset of like, people are reading this, and stop looking at the numbers and the metrics. You got to believe in the giving and receiving sequence. If I give value, I receive in divine timing. And I believe in people's power, and I believe that they have the power because I was brave, and if I could do it, they can do it. And this is where how I believed in people being brave. When I did not have the money and I was in debt and I had to go get like a small bank loan just to hire some coaches and do some programs, like I know that if I had the courage to do that, people had the courage to do it too. And who you are, you're an energetic match for those kind of people. And then I see people popping all the time, the people that are brave to go do it. This is it. Like, you're an energetic match to the kind of power that you have. And then coming back to day one, why it's so important that you build your confidence and you do what you say you're going to do is because then you have no doubt that whatever you invest in or whatever you put your energy in, it's going to work, because you're a no matter what person, because you're a freaking badass. And then you know that other people have this power too. And then you attract those people. And like, one of the greatest things that I do every single day, here's another manifestation hack tool, energetic mindset, whatever you want to call it, is I constantly, when I do my gratitudes, and I play the game of like, imagine if. Here's the issue most people do. They imagine like, what if this doesn't work? I like to play in the like, but what if this does? Like, imagine if December is my biggest month ever to date. Imagine if right now 100 people signed up with me for Inner Circle and did a whole year of all my programs with me in one day. Imagine I had a 6-figure day today. Imagine I get on the cover of Forbes and it takes my business to the next level. Imagine if I get to work with Tony Robbins one day. Like, this is like where I play with. Like, I play with these scenarios. I cast these energetic seeds into the universe. What if I'm one of the greatest minds of my time? Imagine if I do this masterclass and all these new people find me, and then I have like 100K, and I wake up in the morning, there's 100K like in my bank account because all these people bought in one moment. Imagine if, of course that's possible. Anything is possible. Anything's possible. And I don't do a masterclass being like, I hope this works. I hope people get it, because if it doesn't, then blah, blah, blah. That's what most people do. Right before they do a masterclass, right before they do a post, instead of imagining the greatest things that could happen, they think about what are the worst things that could happen. I hope this works. I hope people get it. Instead of like, imagine if, oh my gosh, imagine if. Most people, we imagine worst case scenarios. I love that love letter. Imagine if it all worked out. I love the imagine if action. Imagine if it all gets to be possible for us too. Yes, Rebecca says, I desire to be on the cover of Fitness Magazine. Yes, imagine that. Like, and we get to manifest that. So powerful to say it out loud. Share all the things you want to manifest right now, because collectively, we collectively manifest together. So by coaching, it's like a vortex that happens. We start seeing it together. We start putting it out there. We're manifesting, we're calibrating. But like, most people, the issue is like, they're doing things and they're like, I hope this works. I hope this post sales. I hope this masterclass works. Oh, but what if it doesn't? And then they think about all the worst case scenarios. Instead, it's like, bring your mind back. This is why mastering your mindset is so important. Bring your mind back and like, no. Imagine what could happen. Imagine that anything could happen. Magic and miracles happen all the time. People go from stage 4 cancer to being perfectly like healthy. People get inheritance out of nowhere. People all of a sudden get like a tax return out of nowhere. They're like, oh my God, like people like anything can happen. Like right now, all of a sudden, let's say for a year you've been posting, and you're like, imagine if like, and all of a sudden 100 people buy at one moment. And all of a sudden you're like, I had a 6-figure month. How the heck did that happen? I don't know. Magic and miracles. Imagine if this flip in your business was exactly what was meant to happen. What if it's now the perfect time? Yeah. falling pregnant regardless of circumstances. Yes. Imagine if I get my dream home, I make 6 figures. Yes. Imagine if anything is possible. Imagine if you hosted right now a product launch party for your network marketing company and all these incredible people. And you're like, imagine if 10 people joined by tonight and then 10 people joined. Like, you got to play in the possibilities, guys. Like, imagine if you got to believe in miracles. I've talked about this in the beginning of my business, and I'm repeating myself. This is why I still do this. And then when it's really hard and there's challenges and there's things that happen, I'm like, there's something I need to learn. There's something I need to shift here. I tap into my gratitude. Whenever things are hard, it's just like, okay, I'm going to build from what I have. Like, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for what I have. I'm so grateful that people are sharing. I'm so grateful for all of you that are alive right now. Like, I send you so much love. Imagine a revolving door of clients to support my podcast with millions of listeners, 6-figure income next year. Yes, it's all possible. Imagine if. I believe it's all possible for us. It is. We're watching people pop all the time. The way we change our life is to change our thinking. And I know people want to hear that I'm going to tell you something more complicated, but it's not. I even think that there's way too much weird things happening in the manifestation coaching industry where people are making things be more complicated than they are, when really it's like it all starts with your thoughts and what you believe in. And then having a badass that keeps showing up so that you get those results. Anything is possible. Miracles happen all the time. Imagine if you're a match for someone so powerful that they share you right now with a network, and all of a sudden like 100 people buy. That's happened to me before. Not 100 people, but I remember someone shared me with their network, and 10 people bought that day. The first time they ever met me. That happened to me. Like, anything is possible. What if you hosted a launch party right now and you believed everybody that came is going to sign up? And how would you act if you believe that? Here's the other thing. How do you write? How do you do that party? How do you do that masterclass when you believe that you're going to receive, when you believe people are listening and you matter? How would you launch your masterclass if you believed in people's power? Like, imagine you're going on a first date. Like, there's two types of people. Bleh. There's a person that's going on a date going like, oh, I hope they like me. I hope, oh my God, what if they don't? What if it's weird? What if like they're ugly? What if like I'm weird? And then there's a person that's going on a first date being like, imagine if this is the first and last date of my life. Imagine if this is the person I marry. How do you show up? You're so different when you show up in that energy. And that's where magic and miracles are possible versus, oh God, what if he's ugly? What if like I get weird? What if like I have something in my teeth? Versus, oh my God, what if this is the first and last date? What if I meet my husband today? Imagine. We don't imagine like the best case possibilities ever. Most people are always talking about, oh God, the worst case scenario. And then they're launching things with like, I hope this works. I hope this works. Or if it doesn't, this is going to happen, blah, blah, blah. Like, stop it. Bring your mind back. We get to retrain our mind. But it's going to take some self-mastery to do that. And we want to start playing with like, imagine if, we want to build up that gratitude and believe in possibilities and magic and miracles, because if we don't believe that they exist, then they're not going to happen. The reason we don't even allow ourselves to dream big dreams anymore is because we're so afraid to get disappointed. We're so afraid to even just allow ourselves to go somewhere magical in our mind, because it's like, if it doesn't happen, then I will be heartbroken. And so let me just think of the worst case scenario. So then if those things happen, at least I won't be disappointed. And then that's how we always manifest the things we don't want, because it's like, that's where we focus on the most. We think of worst case scenarios. Well, at least I won't be disappointed. If you live a life avoiding constant disappointment, failure, getting hurt, like your whole life is going to be a disappointing life, because you never find out what you're actually capable of. And you learn way more faster when you fail something than when you just unplug and then you sit around like, I wonder what could have happened. I wonder what could have happened if you kept, like, there are people right now unplugging because it's December and they think no one's going to buy now. People are too busy. People don't care. And so they unplug without going through the finish line. Do you know how many people join my programs at the very last minute, the very last hour, the day of the program starting, sometimes at the end of the program? I never close the door energetically. I go through the finish line. There's so many people that unplugged from a launch because no one bought. And then the miracle was right around the corner. But they're like, oh, I'd rather unplug than feel even more disappointed. You are always welcome. Oh my God, I believe it's all possible for me. My husband too. Thank you for letting me up. Yes, that's amazing. I love that. My mother always thinks that I'm the constant dream. I'm constantly telling myself, hey, you know what? That was me as a kid. And look where I got myself. Now I realize why I manifest certain things too. Everything is possible. She thinks I'm crazy. It's okay. Don't convince people of this stuff. Do it for you. Something a lot of my clients always want their husbands to come and do the self-development work and all the things. And it's like, okay, the only way he's going to do it with you is when your life changes. You go first. You change, you become a different person, you become happier, more in love, more goddessy, more magnetic, then he's going to be curious. That's how everybody gets curious. This is the influencer effect. You got to go first. You got to apply what I'm talking about. If you applied everything I talked about in these 2 days masterclass, there's no way you're not going to be manifesting something. There's no freaking way. But if you spend your whole life protecting your heart, fearing disappointment, never going for it, never going all in, never doing your best to see, and then going through the finish line to actually see what the result was, you never find out what you're capable of. And then you end up living a life that's full of disappointment because there's always going to be this thought of like, oh, what would have happened if I didn't unplug? What would have happened if I just went all in? What would have happened if I did inner circle with Alina and I actually showed up for the calls and I actually did the homework and I actually asked questions and I calibrated her energy? What could have happened? Like, we don't go all in and we don't go through the finish line. And so living a life, avoiding pain, avoiding disappointment, not doing our best, we're just full of so much regret. We're always just like, I wonder what would have happened if I went for it. What could have happened? Like, what if I joined the Business Builder Collective? My whole energetic being changes and my financial blueprint starts to change. What if my relationship changed? My business? Imagine if, imagine. And the frequency of magic and miracles and possibilities, it comes in from when you are already dwelling in the frequency of, I'm grateful, I'm abundant, and I believe anything is possible. We attract who we're being, we attract what we believe in, we attract that what frequency we live in the most. This is why the most important frequency constantly is to be constantly just grateful for what you have. Instead of fearing that your money's leaving, it's like, look at that money in that bank account. There's money there. I'm so grateful. I'm so freaking grateful that money's here. We attract the frequency that we're constantly in the most. And when you're grateful, you are in abundance. And when you're in that abundant state, once in a while, plant an energetic seed or write a post in that energy. Go take aligned action in that energy. I love spending my time in the frequency of like, I value where I am. I'm so grateful for what I am. I'm so grateful for what is. And I'm so grateful to imagine what else, dreaming possibilities up. The dreamer kids, you guys are the ones that are such powerful manifestors. We actually take time to dream. You will change your life faster with dreaming possibilities than hustling in the energy of like, I hope this works. I hope this works. And when hard things happen, because you will be challenged, lean into gratitude for what you have and be proud of who you are. Right? We can only build from what we have now. We can only build from what we value now. And getting in that frequency of like, imagine if all the possibilities, that starts with valuing what you have. You have to be grateful for where you are. Then you can close your eyes and cast an energetic seed out into the universe and believe in all kinds of possibilities. Believe in the giving and the receiving. And here's another powerful thing. When you do the badass thing, when you honor your word, and you go through the finish line and you're like, oh my God, Alina, I said I was going to finish this project by December 31st. I did. And you celebrate in the frequency of celebration. That is one of the most powerful frequencies. When we celebrate, what are we doing? We're saying, thank you. I'm celebrating receiving something. And so you call in more. It's a powerful frequency to manifest from. Celebration. You got to celebrate everything. So if sales aren't coming in, you're going to celebrate the fact that you're going to the gym today. You're going to celebrate the fact that you're healthy. You're going to celebrate the fact that like your husband is the most loving husband. Build from what you have. Yes. And what you celebrate, you replicate. Absolutely. Celebration is so important. Everything is inner game. Wealth is an inner game. Sales is inner game. Success is an inner game. It all starts in the inside. Mastering thyself is so important. This is like the biggest thing I want you to take away from, and we're going to work on that a lot in my self-mastery program, is start paying attention to your thoughts. Start becoming more conscious of your thoughts. Your thoughts create your feelings, and then your feelings create your actions. And then it creates all the kind of reality that you have. But if you start mastering your thoughts and noticing, ooh, that's an interesting negative thought, and you start flipping that and you start questioning it, and you move yourself from the what if it doesn't work to like, what if it does work? Things start changing in your life. We got to lead our thoughts. We got to tap into gratitude. Like, we attract the frequency that we spend the most time in. So if anything, grab hold of that gratitude. Do you really value the things that you have in your life? And you get to say to yourself, the best has yet to come. The best has yet to come. The best has yet to come. This is the most powerful energetic currency that you can post from. People feel from you what you feel, and people feel from you what you feel about them. And if they feel like you don't believe in them, they're not going to invest in you anyways. And if you don't believe in them, they're not coming, because you got to believe in them. You got to believe in yourself. You got to go first. You got to master thyself, lead your thoughts, lead your energy, lead your actions, and like, just go find out what you're capable of. We never find out. We quit so early. And the only way that you're ever going to find out by the end of this life what you are really an energetic match for, who you're really meant to be, is by actually doing the best that you can do and going through the finish line. Give it all your heart and go through the finish line and go actually see what the result is. Every time you give up, every time you unplug, you never find out at all what could have happened, what could have been the result. Oh my God, some people unplug and there were like 5 people ready to sign up. People procrastinate, guys. They really do. Right? And this is why the first program that's starting in my brand, if you're in an inner circle, if you're doing the Business Builder Collective, is going to be self-mastery. We're mastering thyself. This is the foundation that we build everything from. If your badass is not strong, if your mind's not strong, your heart, your emotional intelligence is not strong, you're not good with disappointment, with fear, and you're not good with taking action and following through, nothing works. No strategy will work. Your relationships will not work. People can't commit to you until you commit to yourself. And this program is going to build such a big foundation for the rest of the year, because it's the badass that gets the results. It's the badass that masters all the stuff. And then the emotional intelligence part, that's so important. Master thyself and you will master life, because you are the creator of your universe. You're the creator of your reality. And the only way you're going to find out what the heck you're actually a match for in this lifetime is if you go with it, with your whole heart. You do the best that you can do. At least if you do your best that you can do and you know you did and it doesn't work out, at least you get to say, at least I went through the finish line. A lot of people are sitting with regret, knowing that they unplugged too early and they quit too early and they never found out what really could have happened. Right? And the other thing is, like, you want to rock sales every day, energy first. You got to work on your energy. You got to lead your mindset. You got to take in some sort of inspiration every day. You got to work out. You got to get the oxytocin going, the endorphins going. You got to believe in yourself. You got to accomplish 2 things in the morning and then celebrate yourself. And then you're going to believe that if I can do this, people can do this. And you're going to attract powerful people. Power attracts power, but it starts with you. If you don't believe in you, if you don't honor your word, you can't commit to you. There's no way you're going to attract people who move, who are committed, who do the thing, who hold their agreements. I am grateful every single day for everything that I have. And I'm grateful for this social media tool. Stop complaining about social media if you want it to work for you. How do you know when to quit something is literally, well, I'm a little bit of into human design here, if you guys know. I'm Manny Jen. I know that if something starts to not work and not feel good, it's time for me to pivot, and I got to trust. It's a feeling thing. Sometimes we do have to unplug from something that just, you're just like, no, this is not the right direction. But then you got to pivot. You never stop. Sometimes we got to course correct. But when you sign up for things like a program, or you sign up for, to do a fitness plan or something like that, like just go through the finish line, like actually go through the finish line. Every time we constantly quit though, this is why we don't believe in ourselves. We have no confidence, no self-esteem. Yeah, wish that you were stronger, right? And this is the sequence to like align magnetic sales and a magnetic social media presence. It starts with you being mastered. It starts with you leading yourself. It starts with leading your mind, your energy, posting from a potent place. This is my first impression post. I believe I matter. I know people are reading this and I trust they're coming. And trust. How do you write when you know it's working? How do you write? How do you show up? This is so important. Build it and they will come, but you got to build it with all your heart. Build your beautiful business card, your social media storefront, post intentionally with the belief that people are reading it and that they're going to come in on their own timing without you chasing them. You will be so proud if you build a brand and a business knowing that you never had to dupe someone, chase someone, coax someone, convince somebody. I'm so proud that I built a business where I never had to pull anybody into anything. And then I'm so proud because I attract the most powerful people who actually get results because it was like my choice to come and walk with Alina. She didn't pull me. If I have to convince you and pull you, like I'm taking away your power, and how that will ever work, especially as a coach. I want people to be self-led. I want you to know that when you leave my world, you're self-led. You know what you got to do. It's a choice. And we take away people's power from their buying experience when we have to convince them and push them and coax them into things. And if you ever pulled somebody into a container and it didn't work out, you know why. They were not ready. People have their own aligned timing, and you got to trust. And you got to trust in the giving and the receiving. If you give value, you show up and you're seen, there is a receiving that's going to happen. And the last thing I want to talk to you guys about is being seen. And this is a big one. If you're not being seen for who you are and all you are, like you see me, like I stumble over my words, like I fidget, I move my arms, like I am all of me. Like what you see now, you will get. And I had the weirdest coincidence that happened, like I think it was around last Christmas. We ran out of something, so I went to the closest grocery store down the street to go pick something up, and a client from like Chicago that I never met, that was my program, was like, Alina, and then we like hugged and it was so cool, and then we got to know each other. And then the next day we ran out of something again. I had to go back to the same store around the same time. Another client from another place, like I ran into them and I'm like, what are the chances? Like, and then both of them messaged me later, like, you're exactly who you were online. And that doesn't mean if I wasn't having a bad day, I wouldn't just be who I am, but I'm just like, you get what you see. Like if you love my masterclasses, it just gets more intense in my programs, but I hold you get to be in my energy. If you do the inner circle membership, you get to do live programs with me for a year. You get to keep like a lot of them for lifetime access too. If you do the business builder collective, like you're in like 4 business programs with me for 4 months. Like we get to talk, we get to calibrate, we get to touch each other's energy. So why I'm bringing this up is like, you got to be all of you, because someone said yesterday, just like gratitude's being overused, so is authenticity, but authenticity is your superpower. It's why you attract the people that are like, she's so like me, she's quirky, she's funny, she's like any mean, weird like me, she's my person. You got to be seen. You got to be seen for all of you, and you got to stop worrying about what people think. People cannot see you, then they can't find you. We want visibility. We want visibility, but we got to be so fully seen. And that's really, really scary. And that was something I had to work on a lot at the beginning of my business, because there's 2 fears that we normally have when it comes to visibility. There's the first fear of like, am I good enough? And the second fear is like, what if I'm too much? So some people have both. I had both. I was sometimes either fearing that I was not good enough, or I was fearing, oh my God, what if I'm being too much? Let me know. Which fear do you have? Do you fear not being good enough? Do you fear like you're being too much? Or do you fear both? Do you fear that people won't see the value in what you offer because you fear like, I'm not being like I'm not good enough, I'm not being enough? Or do you fear like, oh my God, if I celebrate and I show myself, am I being conceited and braggy? Am I showing off? Like, oh my God, am I in too many, am I too much in people's face? Am I selling too much? Like, there's another thing, selling all the time, that's your job as an entrepreneur, FYI. The person working at an 8-hour job is also doing their job. Just because you're selling every day for like 1 hour out of your day or 10 minutes out of your day, that is your job. So stop trying to explain this to people who are not entrepreneurs. They don't get it. Okay. That's a different kind of mindset. Both. This was me. Yeah. Shira. Oh my God. Shira. Okay. So Shira was one of the people. How cool is that she's live? So she was one of the people that I ran into in the grocery store. And then the next day I ran into somebody else. Like, what are the chances of that? It's so cool that you're on. And I haven't seen you for a while. I love you. But yeah, we embraced, and that was so cool. JD says, oh my gosh, me too. I got too comfortable behind the scenes and I was ready to be seen in the beginning of my coaching business. I fear I am too much. So that is a big one, right? So for the longest time I had both, right? Because I also came from the corporate world. Look how much weirder I've gotten, which was really always me, because as a little kid, I was all into this, the woo-woo, the spirituality, but then social pressures are like, don't be weird, be normal, right? That's kind of how we all got into a box. And then we started feeling like this is not for me. And now look at me, I'm like super spiritual, hippy dippy. It's amazing. Adam, when he met me, he was like, oh my God, are you like a hippie? I'm like, maybe. But like, I came from the corporate world. So I was so nervous when I came online for the first time, talking about manifestation, being fully seen. I went public on my Facebook. Like, it was a big deal. And now I'm okay. And a lot of people that I like feared would think I'd be weird from even my corporate job. Like, some people have joined my programs. I have people that are like joining my programs for my business, like program. Like, it's so cool. Like we gotta be okay with this. JD says, now I don't care what others think because I'm so comfortable with my own skin. Me too. Me too. We gotta be all of us. When we're all of us, this is how people are like, oh my God, she's like me. Or like, people just get drawn to people that are actually super duper authentic. You can tell when someone's trying to be something that they're not. So I feared being not enough and I feared being too much. And so it's a difficult dilemma because there's a whole like, okay, I want my business to grow. I want to scale. I want clients to see me, but I'm also really scared that I'm either not enough, or I'm afraid that if I'm being too much, what will people think? They're gonna like judge me, whatever it is. What do people think? That I'm too braggy, like I shouldn't talk about money, right? So the thing is like, we got to be okay with the fact that like people are going to judge us and people are not going to like you, but most people won't like you. Like, I'm pretty sure like there's going to be a small percentage of the people that are going to love you, but I will tell you that not everybody has to love you 10 out of 10, because I have clients that like don't like certain things, but they love to learn from me. You don't have to love all of me. You might not like the way I look or talk, or if I post a body picture or something like that, but that's part of my brand. But you're like, I can still learn from this lady. Right. So we get worried about like people usually, what will they think from my past? Maybe people who knew me will say I'm fake, or I've changed too much, or who does she think she is? And the way that you always need to respond to that one is like, that's the whole point. We're supposed to evolve. We're supposed to change. And if you feel like, well, I used to be like a party girl, now what do I do? Like, I'm afraid to be this different person because people might say that I'm fake or I've changed. It's like, that's the whole point. You get to say, yeah, I was this and now I'm this. It's all about evolution. That's what we're supposed to do. We get worried people are going to leave us. We get worried, oh my God, if I start talking about money and I'm celebrating, will the people that love me like leave me, or they're going to want something from me, right? So the first one, if you fear you're not enough, then I want you to understand that like you are always someone's next step. You are always someone's next step. There is someone right now that wishes to know what you know, that wishes to be as happy, as grateful as you are, that wishes to be where you are. Always there. By someone, I mean tons of people. You are always someone's next step. And if you constantly be a badass in your life and you do what you say you're going to do, and you're growing and you're learning skills, then you're going to keep evolving. And then now you're going to be good enough for the next person. We're never going to be good enough for the person that we want now, but we will be later. But we're great enough now for the people who are meant to serve now. So you got to trust that you are good enough for who you're meant to serve now. And you know deep down that if you're a badass and you learn new skills and you grow and you do the work, you're going to be better and more good enough for the next caliber of person. It's all about as long as you're evolving. That's all that matters. And if you fear being too much, really, this comes from a deep fear of like almost not feeling safe. Like, oh my God, what if I'm too successful? And what if I start celebrating money? And then all my family members want me to buy stuff for them. We get attached to worrying about what people think of us. And we think like literally people will leave us, right? Like, what if I become really rich and successful and now my family doesn't love me because they say I'm all about the money? Like, these are the actual deep rooted beliefs that come up with this whole like fearing to be too much. Because you know, if you're all of you, you could be pretty magnetic and call in a lot of people, but you hold back and you dim down, you tone down because you're afraid. What if people leave me? What if people don't like me? What if I'm making more money than my partner and it sabotages the dynamic and I'm more in the masculine? Or maybe you've heard things like, I've heard a client tell me once one of her biggest fear was like, I heard men are not attracted to powerful, strong women. What? What men are these? Okay. I know men are attracted to powerful, strong women. Like, these are just these little limiting beliefs, but they creep up. We fear being too much because like the people in our head, a lot of it's people in our head. Like, I'm like, what do people think I'm annoying? What people? I don't know. The person. I always ask people like, what people, what people? I don't know. Someone on the internet, like the people are in your head. The people that you're worried about, unless they're telling you that you're annoying, then it's the people in your head. What matters is that you show up, all of you. Your visibility is what brings in your people. And if you're all of you and you're super magnetic, the right people will find you. And the people that don't like you, that's okay. Let them go. Why would we want people who don't like us? Why would we want to play safe in life? Because it makes our family members or friends uncomfortable that we're successful. Why do we want friends like that and family members that don't support us? Isn't the whole point that we want the people that we love to be happy, successful, wealthy? Isn't that the whole point? People get afraid sometimes when you become more successful that now like you're kind of going to leave them and they're not good enough to be your friend. And it's to do with them. And so you just got to like make peace with that and trust that if people do their own inner work, they will come back. I've had a lot of people that drop off and then they come back. There's a lot of people that misunderstand me all the time. I get the weirdest projections and I'm just like, what? And you just got to trust that like, yeah, there's going to be people who don't like you, but then the people that love you are your people. And that's all that matters. This life is your life. You're creating it. It's safe for you to be successful. That's another mantra I want you to add. It's okay for me to be successful. I'm safe to be rich. I'm safe to be visible. I'm going to be okay. I'm safe to be wealthy. It is safe for you to be wealthy, to be seen, to be rich, to be successful. You're going to be okay. Repeat this constantly. Queen, I love everything about you. I love you too. Now I don't care what others think because I'm so comfortable in my own skin. Yes, I read that. And Anita, the people that are meant for you will be in your world. And the people that feel like a little triggered, that's their work to do. Your work to do is to design the life that you love. You're a creator. You came here to have it all, be it all, experience all, whatever desires you have on your heart, you're meant to create that. And it's meant to be a journey full of feelings and ups and downs because that's the human experience and you got to love them all. And when there are hard times, just tap into gratitude and be proud of what you have accomplished. You know, something one of my coaches brought up the other day, one of my mentors was saying is just like, sometimes we also get fixated on like how much we're making a month. But I want you to look at how much have you made in your career to date right now? Like that's a big number if you really looked at it. And if you never made money in your business, look at career to date, how much money you've made over your lifetime. Millions, I'm sure. So anything is possible. It is safe for me to be rich. It's safe for me to be successful. Build it and they will come. Like you are so supported. There are more people watching you than they're letting you know. Don't look at the metrics. Who cares? Who cares about the metrics? Just do what you got to do. Trust the right people will share you because that's another thing. I don't worry about the algorithm. I know that some of you might never buy from me, but you're going to share my work. And you're going to be like, my sister needs to hear this. I had 2 clients buy my program Goddess Code one was for their sister and one was for their cousin. There's another one that wants to buy for her sister. And I think that's so cool. Like some people just might love you, but they might not buy from you, but they'll share you. And that's why I love all of you. Anybody that shares my works, tags people, talks about my stuff, like a lot of my business has grown from word of mouth. But the only way to get word of mouth and have people share you is you do the best that you got. I show up and I give you my all. This is the best that I got. I do what I got to do. I'm going to celebrate this masterclass. I think it's a masterpiece. We're still going to do the draw, by the way. Like some of you should manifest that. Imagine if I win the $1,555 credit into the Business Builder Collective, or you can use it toward whatever you want. Imagine I'm one of the people that wins 888. Like 2 people are going to win $888 and one person's going to win $1,555. You can use, like, imagine if, put that out there, manifest it, manifest it. And so the whole point of this social media day 2 here is I want you to really work on your energy. This is the most important thing. I want you to value social media for the great tool it is. Use it intentionally. Every post is a first impression post. What do you want the person coming across your page for the first time to feel? Does your brand represent you? Are you proud of your profile picture? Are you proud of your bio? Are you proud of your highlights? What are the 3 pin posts? Do you have the highlights? Do you have testimonials of your product, imagery? Like all of that has to be there. And know that as you're growing and evolving, your brand is going to grow and evolve. Yes, fingers crossed. I can do hard things. I can finish my tasks and push the finish line. Yes, you can. Girl, I got goosebumps. Yay. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. I'll bring something else for you guys when we do the draw. We're going to do the draw next week. I'll put the event date in there and the schedule in there, and we'll do a draw. So all you got to do is either share the first video on my personal page, take a picture, tag me anywhere on social media, and anytime you tag, you will be put in a draw, and we're going to pull out 3 winners. And I always have more tuition. I'll be another masterclass in January. But if you are interested in working with me, what's coming up next in my brand? Obviously, we're going to take the holidays, enjoy it, family first, right? The kids are going to be off. We're going to be starting self-mastery in January. I think January 9th is a tentative date right now. We're going to start that program. This is a program, again, that's 3 weeks of mastering your mind, emotional intelligence, strategies, really learning how to be a no matter what person, because it does take a certain kind of mindset. And there are amazing strategies that I will teach you so you can get results, build your confidence. It will hold you in everything in your life. This is where we build our self-esteem, our confidence. This is where we're really going to talk about mastering our thoughts, because if we don't believe in more, more is not coming. This program will be included in the Business Builder Collective. And so you're going to see this bundle launch probably tomorrow. And this is going to include a self-mastery program, because we got to first build the consistency and confidence in us. And then you're going to be doing the social media program with me, the sales program with me, the money program with me, and I'm going to be adding a little bonus. You're going to get 4 live programs and a bonus or 2, because I love to share my stuff that I've created before for little bonus things. You get to actually start working on the last social media program over the Christmas holidays. So if you buy anytime, you'll get that. And the bundle is $1,555. You get 4 programs, which is like you're getting them all like 60% off. And the best possible thing you could possibly do with me is my Inner Circle membership. It's a 1-year membership. It's $3,333 paying full, or you do $277 installments every month. There's no additional anything added to that. You're just taking the 333, dividing it by 12. And then you're going to do a live program with me every month. And you're going to get a whole bunch of lifetime access programs as well that you get to keep. And we get to work on all the things. My brand stands for the woman who has it all. How to have the romance, the body, the business, the money, the presence on social media, how to become an amazing coach, how to become an amazing speaker. Like all the things that I embody, you're going to get to do that with me for a full year. And so that's really cool. And that's going to be, you can jump into that anytime. And hopefully some of you manifest it, just put it out there. We'll do the draw and you can use it towards that. So that's all I have to say for today. I need to go drink some more water. I don't know why I didn't bring my glass today, but I have loved this masterclass. There's more things to come. If you are new to my world, I highly recommend go to my YouTube channel, watch the last things I created. If you notice, my masterclasses also build. They also build. I bring back important repetitive things because we all need these reminders, but they build. Like go watch the unconventional success. I would highly recommend go watch the Prove It and the You Go First masterclass that I did. A lot of this stuff will click even more. Everything just builds and compounds. Hello, Jennifer. Yes, yes, yes. And no matter what, person feels so good. It is when, oh my gosh, like I will tell you, because I am such a no matter what person, I don't worry when there are dips and fluctuations and hard things. I'm going to tell you guys something. The last 2 weeks, last few months have been hard and behind the scenes. There are things I can't really talk about. Something has to do with custody stuff. Something has to do with another legal thing. They're the most intense things coming. But the thing is like my business has never been more successful, but things are coming at me. Like I have someone even in my life, the last 2 weeks, I have cried almost every day. And I have the most important, I love Adam so much because this was the first time he ever saw me in such a state. I haven't felt like this emotional in like 4 years. And I was like literally in the closet, like crying, and he laid with me on the floor and we hugged. And I have someone in my life that I'm literally watched, that I just watched like hit a rock bottom, where the reason I actually brought up gratitude in this masterclass, because sometimes we lose perspective. I think this is what happens with really rich, successful people is they have it all and they lose perspective and being grateful for what they have, and they're really unhappy. And I'm watching someone that I used to know, that I do love, that chose a path that led to some addictive things that has led to their mind not being there. And I watched them like go on the streets and not have a home. And it was like the hardest thing to watch. And I also know as a coach that like you can't help people that don't want to help themselves. And then there's just so much things happening, and something happening with like there's so much. And yet the self-mastery program, the stuff that I talk about in there, like, and even my Goddess Club program, it's like I am so in my power still. It doesn't mean that I don't get upset and I'm emotional. It's just like I still show up and I do what I got to do, and I'm still the best wife. Well, Beyonce, I'm the best mother, I'm the best everything, but I have so much perspective lately of the duality that came into my life. And I'm like, oh my God. And it's been hard, but at the same time, I'm like, we create our life. And, like at the end of the day, like no one is going to help you until you help yourself. And nobody's going to create the transformation that you want until it's you. And this is why disciplining yourself and doing what you got to say, doing what you got to do is what is going to get you through everything. I have led myself through some hard things. And that's why now I'm just like, whatever comes, I know I'm going to lead myself. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I said it the day I went live. I'm doing this. This is my vocation. This is what I'm meant to do. I'm not going anywhere. Thank you. It's the first time I watched you live. Oh, I'm so happy, JD. Thank you for this words. I needed this. We're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. It all happens for us. I know for me as a coach, whenever I go through really, really like, whoa, eye-opening hard things, like if I told you exactly all the areas in my life that there's like, what your face would melt off. There's even like a whole government thing. Like, it's just like, I told my friend the other day, because I'm not one that wants to bring, but they're just like, how are you like still like doing what you got to do? I'm like, it's the personal power. It's the badass in me. Like, it's like things are happening, but I still got to do what I got to do because I'm committed to this. And I know that as I lead myself through this, like I'm learning things, I'm getting more perspectives, and it's like, this is what makes me a great leader. And so you got to tap into your personal power because it all happens for you. There is lessons in everything, and there's your power. Your power is always found in the void, but you're going to be okay. You can recreate everything. If you don't like what you have in your life right now, just be grateful that it's here, that you manifested it. And now start focusing on like, imagine if. I'm grateful for what I do have. Let me use the resources that I do have to create something else in my life, and just go. we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. It's like the simplest thing to say, but we are going to go away. No, don't worry. Don't go anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And there's one going to be, when you're in my closer containers, I'll tell you more stories. Sometimes I worry being live that someone's going to be like, hey, you shouldn't talk about that. You know, there's still that fear, but I know that this is part of my story, but I've had a lot of perspective, and I really know that, like, until you can help yourself, until you're in your personal power, nothing will change. Yep. I had to step into that in the last 2 weeks. Yeah. It's okay. Everything's happening for us. You will be okay. We will all be okay. We'll be okay. Everything's going to work out. So I love you. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your week, an amazing weekend. You guys will see me live next week. I will post in the event section the draw that's coming up. Also, look out for the new branding for the Business Builder Collective. I'm so excited about this bundle. Like, if you're an entrepreneur, this is the bundle you want, because you're going to get all my business programs for like literally 60% off. Like, it's such an amazing bundle. Plus, I always give bonus. I always give more. This is going to be amazing. So I love you. I hope you guys have a great week, a great weekend. I will see you live next week. So you guys can share and tag up until the day that I do the draw, and just put it out there. Imagine if. I love being here with you. Yes. And so if you are complete, I will see you also in the next masterclass if you don't want to do the draw. And if you have any questions, let me know. You guys will see me go on a launch and explain some stuff. And then obviously, if you need links or anything, just reach out. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Thank you for your energy. I value you so much. I love you. I'm sending you so much love and light, and I will see you guys live in the draw. Have a good day, guys.